I'm Dr. Maki Haberfield. I chair the Department of Law and Police Science, and I also teach in various graduate programs, including ICJ, and I oversee a special program called the NYPD Leadership Studies. Well, being born in one country, communist country at the time, and then moving to another country, Israel, when I was 14, and then coming here to the United States at the age of 27, certainly gave me a perspective that is different from people who just immigrate once. Being an immigrant twice gave me some sort of overview of issues that are really important and transcend cultures and continents, and made me think about my profession, which is criminal justice, from a totally different angle. Looking at problems not just locally but internationally allows you to create and search for better solutions. So trying to understand this from the perspective of not local problem, not a specific problem, but rather a global and international approach gives you a much better platform for intervention, platform for minimizing problems, and really making a dent as far as changing something. We will never eliminate crime. We will never live in a society that is free of individuals who want to hurt others. But maybe we can minimize the numbers of individuals. So one of the things that I look at in my research is police misconduct. And I look at police misconduct from the perspective of organizational behavior, not necessarily individual behavior or group behavior, but how the organization contributes to this misconduct. I was lucky enough to start this research about 16 years ago with a group of scholars, and since then we conducted this research in about 25 countries, 50 police departments across the United States. We have an instrument that we devised trying to identify the contours of police misconduct. When you talk to police officers in Pakistan, or whether you talk to police officers in Sweden or South Africa or Poland, you talk to people who have the same problems. And so this questionnaire and this research really validated my perspective of how do you look for solutions. Do you look for solutions locally, or do you look for solutions globally? The other type of research that I am involved in right now that also transcends crime, transcends countries and borders, is match fixing. This is a very new phenomenon in criminal justice literature. It's soccer match fixing, where organized crime or individuals who are involved with organized crime approach soccer players, judges, owners of the clubs, and offer them bribes for the outcome of the match. And it also involves illegal gambling. It's a huge illegal enterprise that I was actually introduced to through the Interpol last year, when I was asked to put together for the Interpol an academic conference. Based on my international background and connections, I was asked by the Interpol to bring together academics from like 30 different countries, which I did. And interestingly enough, they all recognized the problem from the media, but not necessarily from the academic side. So this is a very exciting project for me. We are putting together a book that will be out in a few months about proceedings from this conference. This is a very new and very international topic that from my perspective has a tremendous potential for future students to engage in, because it's not just the criminal activity, but it's also the ethical aspect of this. We tend to look at sports as something that is of higher value. There are excellent opportunities for students to study this phenomenon of match fixing, because as far as we know, just from the preliminary overview of what's happening, it's happening in each and every country. There is very little recognition of the problem in the academic world. Yet when you talk to law enforcement people, they recognize this. So there is this gap between what we know from the academic world and how can we transfer this knowledge, or lack of knowledge at this point, to law enforcement. The idea was that two of my colleagues and myself will create some sort of a special and unique program for NYPD officers in which they will receive sensitivity training, but from the perspective of leadership approach, based on the fact that we view police officers as leaders regardless of their ranks. Being on the street, giving orders to people, giving commands to people, telling them what to do requires certain skills that are not given to them during the basic academy. So we created 4 undergraduate courses and 4 graduate courses based on the education of the officers. We decided to open it to any police officer, regardless of the rank, regardless of the seniority, which is very different from leadership training that's offered by police organizations that is only offered once you attain a certain rank. And the courses deal with, again, leadership skills in multicultural environments, ethical behavior, why organizations like police organizations structure people, employees to behave in a certain way towards different communities, how the immigrants impact the behavior of police organization and how police organization behaves towards immigrants. And after 9/11, we also included a counterterrorism course. We talk about race and crime, ethnicity and crime, background and crime, whether we should focus on one type of individuals, as NYPD had this focus on Al-Qaeda after 9/11 and then sort of victimized in a way certain communities. And we're trying to talk about this whole concept of targeting individuals based on their background, based on their race, based on their ethnicity, sexual orientation, whatever. We're trying to really demystify the concepts that criminal behavior is tied to a specific quality or a specific background that you have. And I am very proud of this program. I stayed with the program not just as one of its creators, but also as a coordinator for the last 12 years. So far, we put almost 5,000 NYPD officers through this program, so it's a huge number. And we believe that we are making an impact, and I teach in this course counterterrorism and also police ethics. So to see police officers on Friday evening coming on their own time from 5 to 7 to talk about police misconduct, it's really an incredible experience and opportunity to make a difference. And it's important to say that people who teach in this program are very friendly beyond the delivery of classroom instruction. So we are willing to help.